welcome to the first of 3 presidential debates from the SVCAD Arena here in Los Angeles. Today we will be witnessing former Senator John George Lincoln, the nominated Republican candidate, facing off against Governor of Wyoming, Scott Michaels, our Democratic candidate. Here are the rules for today's action. After a short opening statement from each candidate, I will ask one of these random questions submitted by our friends in the States. One will answer them in 30 seconds, the other will answer them in another 30 seconds. Without further ado, let's introduce our candidates, Senator Lincoln and Governor Michaels.
Nice to meet you, Senator.
You too. Thank you, candidates. You'll both have 30 seconds to give your opening statements. Mr. Michaels, you're up first.
Thank you, Jim, Mr. Moderator. Now, in my 8 years as Governor of Wyoming, I have noticed that America has become extremely slow in passing bills and future measures that will ensure its success. Why? Because of Congress. Congress is taking too long to deliberate and ultimately pass new motions. So we need to completely change the American government. I propose that we completely get rid of Congress. As president, I will force Congress into passing legislation that will erase itself from America's future. All I need to do is convince them that passing this will help them become more useless, more effectively in the future. I will start a new chapter in American history where a sole president will finally be able to lead America free from the chains that are holding this country back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. A very interesting idea indeed. Your turn, Mr. Senator.
During my last 6 years serving this nation as a United States Senator, I've experienced firsthand the struggles our country faces. My fellow Americans, this country has endured too much wild and erratic change that has crippled our influence across the world. The people have spoken. If elected president, I propose to completely eliminate taxes from both the rich and the poor to ensure superior living conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Lincoln. We'll now turn to our 2 analysts who will give their views on these opening statements.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a breakdown of what Congress does on a daily basis. Filibustering, 92%. Hold this debate, 4%. Compromise that leads down to both sides abandoning all beliefs, 5%. Mutual political success, -1%. But that's not important because both speeches were very strong. Although Mr. Lincoln's speech did lack a little bit of neutral stuff that you often see in a Republican speech. But it's pretty risky for conservatives, so I'll take it any day. But don't you think less funding will actually help the government improve services such as roads and trash collection? No, well, if you don't think so, it's fine, because it's not going to affect us in any way.
It's quite obvious, ladies and gentlemen, that the great, amazing Mr. Lincoln and his opponent have very different political views. It is possible that through negotiation, debate, and compromises to achieve at least no harmful changes over a few congressional sessions. The senator has over 6 years of experience under his belt. Trust him, he knows what is best for us and our country.
Thank you. We'll now entertain our first question of the day from the Mr. SVCAD in Illinois. He asks, what will be your policies regarding healthcare? Mr. Governor, you're up first.
Thank you for the question, Mr. SVCAN. I care about the American people. I really do. And from the deep south of Virginia to the cold peaks of Maine, I will personally go to every single house in America to ensure that all of America has adequate access to medical care and proper insurance. So Mr. SVCAN, if you don't have either one of these, don't worry, I'll be at your house soon enough. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Senator, your response.
In the past, Americans have called for greater freedom among choice of healthcare and freedom to choose their healthcare providers in order to ensure quality service. Therefore, it is my pleasure to eliminate government influence and control over healthcare. The people have spoken for more freedom. This money will help fund the transition into gun control laws to eliminate them completely. After all, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Thank you.
Thank you for those views on healthcare. I've decided to postpone your analysis for obvious reasons. Our next question is a question from Mr. Wyoming in Wyoming. What is your policy in the Middle East? Mr. Michaels, you're up first.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Wyoming. If we're talking about the Middle East, we have to talk about ISIS. I would like to open direct negotiations with ISIS. I will even have a personal meeting with Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi to discuss our policies. We will build a mutual relationship with ISIS and we'll develop a trust with the group. And obviously, they'll stop all of their terrorist ways after. Surely, they will agree, for as we all know, everybody loves the United States. The world will see our ways, and our former enemies, such as Russia, Cuba, and even North Korea, will be begging to join the United States. Thank you, Dr. Wyoming. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Senator, what's your take on the topic?
Comrades, the Middle East is full of unpredictable and dangerous countries that will stop at nothing to erase Israel off the map. We must aid Israel, a longtime ally, amongst foes of the Western culture, and supply them with arms and humanitarian aid to combat the Middle East and take back Jerusalem from the grip of Hamas. Thank you.
Now, I do believe Mr. Governor's plan is very economically beneficial. We will increase our world power and our ally base. But isn't Mr. Senator's idea much better? I mean, surely he knows more after expertly accomplishing nothing in Senate for 6 whole years. Surely Mr. Senator is right. The people have spoken. The problem is, he just wasn't listening. And he said whatever he wanted to say.
There is no doubt that Mr. Lincoln will guarantee his best efforts to securing the U.S. policies in the Middle East. As for Mr. Michaels, I don't even know why he believes ISIS will listen to him after one meeting. And Mr. Michaels believes that ISIS is the bigger problem in the Middle East while completely ignoring our ally Israel that is under constant duress. Our most important objective in the Middle East is to take back Jerusalem. After this is accomplished, everything else will fall into place faster than...
Alright, election results are in, and it's a tie! Now, on to the House of Representatives to... Oh. In that case...
Let's settle this the real way. Best of 3?